Hi, I'm Andre, and I just wanted to make a video just to talk to you guys. So, just wanted to let you know what's on my mind, get some things off my chest, and just have a conversation with you, because I haven't done that in a while. Just give you some real talk, some real talk about me, about YouTube, about a number of things. So this may be a little rambly, so might be a little long, but it's just something I want to do, because it's just nice to just have a conversation with you guys sometime. First off, I want to thank everybody. I've gotten a lot of congrats lately on different things, from getting over 500,000 subscribers on my channel. I did my 10-year anniversary of living in Los Angeles. My 9-year anniversary just recently of being on YouTube. I retweeted or reposted, I just re-showed my first video I ever made from 9 years ago. Hi, I'm Andre, and I'm a black nerd. Here's my Nintendo collection in really bad lighting. So that was fun. And also, I got recently over 100 million views total on my channel. Lamar Wilson actually pointed this out to me. I didn't even notice it. He wrote a tweet about it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I did. Thank you. So thanks for that. And then Kingdom Geek, the show that I host on Fullscreen's app, got renewed. So that was really cool. Been doing some really cool things lately with Regal Cinemas, with Crash Course Games, all kinds of cool stuff happening. So it's been a good time. Like it's been a good, celebration of things. And so that's why sometimes it's tough when I also think about things I wish I could be better at or improve. So it's kind of bittersweet sometimes. And before I even get into some of this stuff, let me let you know I'm okay. I'm good. I'm happy. Everything's fine. I'm not depressed. I'm not angry. I'm not sad. I'm not downtrodden. But just like I said, I think because I've done so many of these things, particularly YouTube and being here for so long, for so many years, which a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people think that I'm a relatively new, or like the past few years. I've been doing videos since 2007. I wasn't regular with it until the later years, but I would throw a video every once in a while up since 2007. And I have seen YouTube specifically change so much between 2007 and today. I've seen myself change so much. I've seen the platform and the people in it, the community, if you want to call it that, change so much. And I've seen particularly nerd culture and geek culture change so much in that time frame. Some of it for the good, some of it not so much. Same thing with just people in general, or just pop culture in general, just our world in general. So much has changed. Some of it for the good, and some of it not so. Yeah, it's been very interesting. And what happens with it for me is I get into sort of a reflective state, and people always get to me on this. They always say that I get in my head too much, or I think too much about things. I overthink things. That is a flaw that I have. That's my old school Andre student back in the day, doing his homework and trying to make honor roll kind of brain that takes over, and it's like, oh, you gotta strategize, you gotta think of this, gotta think of that. And so sometimes I get in my head a lot about a lot of things that happens, both within YouTube and with myself, and with me making videos on YouTube. And so it's gotten me to a very interesting place right now, where I like the stuff I'm doing, I like what I'm making. At the same time, I keep thinking that there's something a little more I can do. And I don't mean like a complete change. I don't mean like a whole evolution, like a Pokemon. I just mean like just a twist, like there's like a different way to make things that feel very Andre, that feel very unique to me, that feel very unique to my YouTube channel. Because what happens a lot of times on YouTube is you see things go into phases. There's just phases of things that people like to do. Early days, you had people who just like to vlog, just like to talk to camera. That still is around, but I'm saying there was a phase where everybody wanted to do that. Then it became like the let's also do that, be a little scripted with it, after the whole Lonely Girl 15 thing. And then there was the phase where everyone wanted to do unboxings. There's a phase where everybody wanted to do gameplay. There's a phase where everyone wanted to do reviews and reactions and news. You see a lot of that now. There's always these different things that happen. And I personally feel like I've touched a lot of those things. I used to do sketches back in the day and really enjoyed doing those, but then it got to a point where people were creating sketches that had a lot more money and a lot more manpower than I did. So that's why I turned into trying to just do more talk to camera stuff, and that's how Rants evolved. Rants was just a thing that just happened. I was mad about, or not even really mad, but just joking about how immediately once Halloween is over, Christmas stuff goes up. I was like, what about Thanksgiving? So I was like, I'm gonna make a rant about that. And that was literally how Black Nerd Rant started. And that's what's kind of funny about Black Nerd Rants is that people are always associated with, oh, Andre rants about all the things that happen in nerd culture and geek culture. My early rants, if you go back and watch the very first ones I ever did, they were about like Thanksgiving, Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez dating, the Kids' Choice Awards. It was like random stuff. It wasn't even about that many video games. And even when it was about video game stuff, it was so stupid. Like I would joke about Pokemon Black and White being racist, and I'm like, I don't think that way. It's just me being silly, So that was a phase that happened. And then the thing about Black Nerd Rants is it was always a satire for me. Like it always came from a real place, but it was to be the over-exaggeration of someone being angry, because I thought that was funny. Like, take these things that aren't really that big of a deal and be so upset about it and yell about it to the point that it seems like it's a big deal. And that used to be fun when people looked at it that way. But now, cut to today, and you've got people who do rants who are literally that angry about things. And I'm like, you're really that upset? I mean, even the whole, like, when I did my rant about Megan Fox being cast in Ninja Turtles, like, would she be the choice I would have picked? No. Was I really that upset? Like, come on, man, it's Hollywood. I know how this works. I got it. So, and then as a person, it's like, whatever, but it was fun. It was just something fun to do. The Smurfs movies, am I mad that they took that direction? That's what they're gonna do, like they saw the Chipmunks and went, we're gonna do that. The Chipmunks made money, the Smurfs gonna make money the same way. Now we see they're getting a reboot, so it just was an interesting thing. And then with the news and the reviews and all that stuff, the trailer reviews or the, hey, here's some casting news, that was a lot of fun. A lot of you really appreciate my opinion on that, and I love doing those things as well. But then that's been interesting for me lately, just because that is becoming a very big thing for news. You see websites, YouTube channels, Twitter feeds that are just dedicated to that. And what happens is you've got people who have basically teams that are just at the ready whenever news drops. So if they announce, some casting choice for the next Marvel movie right now, there will be certain outlets that you probably know, that you probably follow, that will be able to give you a video, even if the video is just a person reading the press release of the news in like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, like it'll literally be like minutes after that news comes out. And I love talking about these things, but sometimes I'll get like, oh, you're late or whatever. And I'm like, well, it's not that I'm late. It's just, I can't do that. I'm one dude. Like, I'm just one guy that makes videos, and I'm now having to compete when it comes to that type of stuff with people who are doing it on a regular basis, that have a crew that's always ready for that. And that's tough. The information is coming to us at a much faster rate than it used to. The thing that is the hot ticket item of today is gone tomorrow. And what's weird about it for me, like when I see it in pop culture, it can be anything. Like, you could literally have a very severe, terrifying, sad event happen one day, and then the moment some, squirrel water skis, then it's like, well, that's not a thing. Forget this tragic thing that just happened like 10 minutes ago. Look at the squirrel water skis. It's like, that's how we are nowadays. And so it's very tough when you're doing that type of stuff. So what does this all mean? But the reason why I'm saying all this is because I love doing all these things. I love talking about all these different things. I love talking about things that you can go back and watch and it still is relevant to this day. And I love talking about things that you can go back and watch for the time period that it exists, and then it may not be worth you watching later. There are videos that I made that people watch immediately and then they're done. Like, they get a good couple of days, they do a great run, and then they're over. Like, I don't think anyone's watching my Suicide Squad trailer review after Suicide Squad the movie came out. You know what I mean? Like trailer reviews are fun, but they're gonna have a short lifespan. Then there's also videos I've made back in 2009, 2010, 2011 that people are still watching this day. I swear to you, every day, almost every day, someone writes to me, Andre, when are you gonna bring back Awkward Talks with Girls? And I'm always like, what are you talking about? I haven't done that show in so long. And it's because they've watched episodes from years ago and they still enjoy them to people wanting today. And the sad thing is, I actually have some I've never put up because that's the problem with me. I'm gonna be some hard, tough love on myself right now that you're gonna get to witness. The thing that's been in my brain right now is that I have been doing this for so many years, for 9 years, like I said, on YouTube specifically, and I feel like I'm constantly changing what my focus is, and everything that I've thought of, I've enjoyed, and everything I've thought of, I liked. But what happens is it becomes one of those. There's an episode of the Smurfs. This is crazy. There's an episode of the Smurfs about a Smurf that's called Dabbler Smurf, and what you know how every Smurf has their trait, you know, like Handy builds things, and Hefty's really strong, and Brainy likes to write and be smart. So there was a Smurf called Dabbler Smurf who always joined one of the other Smurfs do what they were doing until another Smurf came along, and then he started doing what they were doing. That's how sometimes I feel like with my YouTube. It's like, oh, I really like doing reviews. Now I'm just gonna do reviews. Oh, now I really like doing rants. Now I'm just gonna do rants. Oh, I really like doing this. And I keep doing all these different things, and I love doing all of them, but sometimes I don't have, I personally have the vision of what to do next. So sometimes there are days where I'm just like, I know exactly what I'm gonna do. And then sometimes there are days where I'm like, I have no idea what I'm gonna do. So it gets really tough. And it's tough because the reason why it's tough is because YouTube, this is where YouTube, the platform, becomes a part. Because YouTube changed. You know, YouTube was very much about, this is your channel. We will let your subscribers know when you produce. Do whatever makes you, make it work for you, and your subscribers will know. Well, we all know that over time that has changed. And now it's a lot more about, well, you subscribed to this channel because you like this type of video, so we're only gonna give you these, or you subscribed, and maybe we'll show you the subscription feed of that person, or maybe we won't. Like, a lot of things have changed with the platform itself, that some of the ways that I think about of old days of YouTube don't really work anymore. I mean, just think of subscriptions themselves. Subscriptions used to be your homepage. Like when you would log in, like in the early days of YouTube, you would log in, they would have their YouTube recommends videos, which were actual people recommending things. But eventually when we had the subscriptions become a big thing, your homepage used to be your subscription feed. Then over time, it became, well, here's a homepage of automated recommended stuff, and then your subscription feed on another page. Today, it's not like the third or fourth thing on the platform. You get the homepage, you get trending things now, like that's even more important to them. You know, your YouTube Red ads, and then, oh yeah, by the way, subscriptions. And then they're not all of your subscriptions, because even though you subscribe to somebody, we're not gonna tell you everything they do. Why? So that's why I see the evolution of a lot of channels in various ways. Some people have decided, you know what? It's hard for people to find my stuff, so I'm gonna do the one thing that everyone really likes, and I'm gonna keep doing that. I see other people who are like, you know what? I can't trust the YouTube subscription feed, so I'm just gonna tell you personally, this is my schedule, this is where you can find me, so you just know that and have it ingrained in your head. I've seen people do a variety of those types of things because they have adapted to the newer YouTube, and I've seen people do it very, very well. And I probably need to be better at that. Because, and a lot of it's because of, it's not just that I'm doing YouTube, because I'm also doing all these other things. And that's, again, where Dabbler Smurf comes in. Because once I get involved in something else, sometimes it's not that I forget the other things, but it's just like I get so involved in one particular thing. This even comes into play when it comes to like sponsored videos or videos where I get gifts or things like that. Because, dude, there's a stack right outside this door of just mail. And there's an inbox in my email right now of just, we want to do this with you, and we want to do that. And you just get so inundated by it. And it becomes a lot, you know. It's that you know, grass is greener, more money, more problems, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, it's like the bigger that you get, the more that you work, the more people are always trying to come in and be like, well, I want some of that. And it doesn't matter what level you're at, you know, it's funny to me because I'm not even one of the top, like, you know, the top, like the top is like, woo! So for me to be like getting that, it's very weird. You know, people who are small enjoy that. I mean, seriously, I'm telling you this heart to heart. I know you look at some of these other challenges, like, and I'm like this too. I'm like, oh, I want to be there. Trust me, man. Indulge in the fact that you are small, and indulge in the fact that you can experiment, because the moment that you get to a level where it's pretty much defined that that's who you are and that's what you do, that's done. You So do you as much as you can. Indulge in that while you can, because it changes. And some people are good about it. Some people are just like, you know what? I don't care what people say. I'm gonna do me, and you on the ride or you're not. I think for me that sometimes I try to become a pleaser of everyone, and I just got to keep telling myself, and I just kind of keep reminding myself, you can't do that. You can't please everyone. You cannot please yourself, your audience, your network, sponsors, other companies, your peers, other YouTube creators, aspiring YouTube creators, everyone. There's so many people, and you just can't make content that's gonna make every single person happy. You know, every time I make a Ninja Turtles video, I've always got one person who comes in and goes, "Oh my God, I love when you talk about the Ninja Turtles," and I got another person who comes in and goes, "Man, you talk about Ninja Turtles too much." You know, like you're never gonna win. I've even learned that with reviews. With my reviews, I always do good, bad, nerdy. So no matter how good or bad a movie is, I will say something good or something bad about it. And I cannot begin to explain how confusing it is when sometimes I'll read comments and there are people who will be mad at me for two completely different reasons. If I say something positive, the people that hate the thing are mad that's the positive thing. If I say something negative, the people that love the thing hate that's a negative thing. It's like, it's all in the same video. It's really weird, but it happens. But it's just constant proof that sometimes you gotta let the external just go away. And you just gotta be like, this is me. This is me. We're as different as can be. He and I are nothing, she and I are nothing alike. Okay, sorry, that was a tangent. But yeah, like I sometimes let the outside voices affect me, and I really gotta be careful of that. And that includes sometimes you guys. I mean, as sad as it is to say, you know, because I always want to make you so happy, because I put so much pressure on every single time I put videos up to make sure that that's the one that everyone wants, and you just can't do that. You just can't, and I gotta stop doing that. And when it comes to the sponsor stuff and the gift stuff, that's something I'm definitely gonna have to stop listening to people about, because, you know, it's funny because for all the stuff that you've seen me do that's sponsored, there's a lot of stuff that I did not do. There's a lot of times when people have come to me with large amounts of money and being like, if you do this, we'll give you this. And I'm just like, I can't do that, man. Like, that's like, it's gotta be it's gotta be something I like. It's gonna be something I think my audience will appreciate, or it's gotta be like maybe even if I'm not a big fan of it, maybe you would be a big fan of it, or, you know, or it's gotta be a really good, authentic relationship. When it's just flat out, sell my product, but don't put your own thoughts or mind into it, just sell it. You know, like I can't do that. And there's a lot of things I turn down. So it's so funny how I'll literally be like, here's a product that is interesting to me because of this reason, and people sell out. Look, you know what? And I used to feel bad. Like I would like try to over-explain. Hey, yeah, you know, I'm sponsored by this, but you know, but I like this thing, and it's okay, right? It's cool. And you know what? On one end, again, I put so much pressure on that stuff that I end up putting a lot of my other stuff by the wayside, because I'm so concerned about how this video turns out for the company, or how this video turns out for you guys, and making sure everyone's happy. And then I put everything else aside, and then, you know, still get the complaints. And the thing I gotta tell myself is, man, don't feel bad about this. Like, you worked your butt off for several years. Like, of the few videos that you made where, yeah, someone sponsored you, think of the hundreds of videos you've made. Also, the tons of auditions that you've gone on as an actor, the tons of things that you've been rejected on, the tons of things that you've done for free to get these occasional things. You know, it's not even sometimes like hey, we want to give you something. It's more like a, man, you still doing this thing? Well, here, have some money. Jeez, here's some toys. I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were still a grown man doing this. So but yeah, man, I'm tired of feeling sorry for that. I should not feel sorry for success. You know, and I would want that for any of you. If any of you, I just hit my microphone, I'm sorry. If any of you get to the point where they're coming to you and saying, hey, congratulations, man. Like, I would be happy for you. You know, this is just part of my life. I'm a grown man, dude. I don't live with my parents. You know, like, I don't live with, you know, and right now I'm, you know, not taking care of anybody. You know, like, I'm allowed to do this. You know, like, this is something I should be allowed to do. I shouldn't feel sorry or feel like I need to apologize for success. If some company says, oh my gosh, you like Ninja Turtles because you've been talking about them for the past 9 years, here's a Ninja Turtle free thing, thank thank you. You know, you don't have to do it, but I do appreciate when it happens. You know, that's why I don't ask you for stuff. You know, like, that's why I've never been like, give me money. Or I have that donation thing on my YouTube channel, but I've never been like, here's a Patreon. I would do a Patreon if I had something very specific that I wanted to create. Like, if I wanted to create something like, you know, some kind of merchandise or something that's outside of what I normally do. But I would never be like, give me money to make these, because I do this. You know, that's what the boop and the pre-roll and the Geico and all that stuff. Like, that's what, that takes care of that. You know, and then they get me stuff. And I take money from sponsors because I don't want to take it from you. So I'm like, oh, if I need extra money for resources, let them sponsors, let them companies pay for it. They got the money. You trying to work just like I am. I'm like, I want to get it from them. You know, so yeah, if I got to say, hey, go buy this thing for 30 seconds so that your pocket gets untouched and I can take stuff from them and we can keep doing this, so be it. So be it. I am not feeling sorry for that. I am done feeling sorry for that. But that being said, I want to now get past that point of dealing with that. Like, I want to do those things when I need to do them so that my focus can then be on all the stuff that I want to create that has nothing to do with sponsors. It has nothing to do with working with other companies. It has nothing to do with outside, and more about what I just want to talk about. What are the things that I've bought that I want to show you? What are the movies or TV shows that I haven't seen that you keep talking about that you would like for me to see and experience, and how I experience? Dude, I went on a crazy Twitter tirade yesterday about Dancing with the Stars having a TV night. I didn't even know it was happening. Someone threw a video up and I was like, hey, what's going on? And I turned on there, and it was one of the most fun things I've ever done in my life. It's just commentary on Twitter about Dancing with the Stars. That's something I never would have thought about doing, but it was fun because it was just enjoyable. And I think that that's what it boils down to. It's like, sometimes when we get in this whole geek culture thing, it is so about, oh, you can only talk about Marvel and DC. You can only talk about Star Wars. You can only talk about this. Like, no, whatever makes me happy, whatever makes me have a passion, that's what I should be able to talk about. Like, I don't feel like I should be pigeonholed into specific things. So like I said, there could be random TV shows, movies, video games, cartoons, stuff that I don't really know that much about that you guys are really big into, that maybe I will learn because of you. You know, or maybe I'll like it, or maybe I won't like it. You know, like, it could happen. You know, there's fun in everything. Like, dude, I went on a tirade for 20 minutes about 9 Lives, a freaking talking cat Kevin Spacey movie, and I did that a few months before that for Alvin the Chipmunks: The Road Trip. And I will tell you, in all honesty, I had more fun making videos about 9 Lives and The Road Trip than I did about Ghostbusters and Suicide Squad. Absolutely, because there was no pressure. There was none of this nonsense from the outside. It was just, here's a dumb movie, and I'm gonna have fun talking about this dumb movie. And that was the most fun I had in so long when it came to YouTube video. Because that's the other thing. I'm just tired of the noise. There is just too much noise. And just to be real, it's not everybody. Like, I hear this whole thing about geek culture is changing and YouTube life is changing and everyone's so angry. It's like, no, the people who spend their time obsessively in these spaces talking about these things ad nauseum on the internet is the angry. There are tons of people out there that are living their lives and enjoying this stuff. You know, there's something I told somebody recently, because sometimes you get a lot of negative comments in YouTube, and then you go out to, like, I go to conventions and events and things, and I get all this positivity, and the thing is, it's like, the people that are enjoying your stuff sometimes enjoy your stuff and then move on. They're like, hey, I know you're making good stuff. I'm going to watch it and then I'm going to leave. Maybe every once in a while I'll leave a comment. Some people don't even have an account. I check my analytics pretty regularly. I check my analytics. That sounds really weird. I check my analytics pretty regularly. There is a large number of people who watch my channel, who watch my videos, who are not subscribed to me. You know, they found me through search, or they found me because their friends told them about me, or they just know to come to my channel every week and see what's new. You know, so you can't get too wrapped up in those comments, and you also can't get too wrapped up when it comes to geek culture with these same people yelling all the time, because they're just people yelling at each other over and over again, and they're not going to change. Don't waste your time on people who don't want to change, man. Like, I just see so many people yelling and arguing and fighting back and thinking they're going to change somebody. No. If somebody wants to hate something because of some ridiculous reason, they're going to do it. Trust me. And if it's not with that property, they're going to do it with some other property, or they're going to do it in real life. I don't know if you've noticed real life lately, but there's a lot of things that people are mad about in real life just as much as they're mad about with geek culture. So it's going to happen. Some things just never change with us people. So yeah, man, I hope this all makes sense. I know this is a very all over the place, rambling, babbling type of thing. And I know it's long and I've just been talking, but I just wanted to get this all out there, man, because I want to move forward. I feel like right now, I won't say stuck, but just like I want to move to the next level of me. And not just talking about just YouTube, next level of me on YouTube, next level of me on life, and also on what makes me nerdy or what makes me enjoy the things I love. I'm just so tired of trying to feed into or discuss or deal with the energy of people hating on things that we're supposed to love. You know, the whole reason we're nerds and geeks about these things is because these things are things that we love and we're passionate about it. But we're so wrapped up nowadays in identity, what kind of nerd I am, and why, you know, all this kind of stuff. That I think that's what happens. That you start to then challenge everything around you that you feel is either making you more or less of a nerd or more or less of your identity. These are things you love. It's not you. You are you. You know, your person is you. You know, these elements make up what makes up you, but these elements are not you. If you like video games, that's great. You know, whether you play them casually on your phone or you're a hardcore headphone on headshots every single time, doesn't matter, okay? Every gamer doesn't have to be the same person. Every nerd doesn't have to be the same type of person. Every geek doesn't have to be the same type of person. Do you. Do the thing that makes you you. And if that is how you feel, makes you nerdy, geeky, dweeby, dorky, whatever, so be it. You know, you don't have, yes, there will be others that will be in the same boat as you, but your groups will be formed. I think that people trying to do these things to just instantly try to put themselves in groups. That's why we're getting all these labels thrown around nowadays. Don't worry about that. Do you. And that's how I'm gonna be. Do me. Black nerd is a name that I call myself because I am black and I am a nerd. But my black nerd is completely different from other black nerds. And we've seen that happen. There's so many other black nerds out there, individuals, and there's also some really cool black nerd groups. You got black girl nerds out there. You got black nerd problems. You got Blurs Online. You got, who am I forgetting? There's so many. I'm sorry if I missed one, but there's a number of them. There's different people out there. There's individuals, you know, like Stu Dippin is a guy that likes a lot of the same stuff I like, but we're not the same person. You know, I can't tell you how many times I've had a black person come to me at a convention and be like, man, somebody thought I was you. But that's a story for another day. But yeah, man, like you all do you. And I think what I need to do is I need to do me. So what does that mean? That means I'm just gonna, you know, I'm gonna do a lot of the same things you've seen before. Don't expect some complete shift. But I think I'm gonna also try to play around a bit. I might try some different formats. I might try some different things I haven't done before. I may talk about stuff that you'd be like, Andre talking about that. You know, I may do more videos like this where I'm just like, hey, I'm just gonna talk and see what happens. And you can watch it or not watch it, but hey, I did it and it's fun for me to do and it was good and get it out there. Whatever the thing that happens. But yeah, I want to do that. And eventually what I want to get to is I do want to get to that place where I can tell you, hey, when you come to Andre's channel, when you come to Black Nerd Comedy, the channel, but to see Andre, the person, this is what you're going to get. This is what you're going to see. And I pray that I get to the point where I can even tell you the specific days that you can see it. Because YouTube, I love you. You're sweet. You're kind. You've created so much for me and I appreciate it. But you got flaws, buddy. And I can't deal with your subscription feed not working all the time. I can't deal with your fair use crap all the time. I can't deal with your, I'm going to now unmonetize things just because, you know, like you got some issues. And again, that's a story for another day. But the way I got to look at it at the end of the day is YouTube is a place where I put my videos. Geek culture is a thing that I enjoy for me personally. But at the end of the day, it's Andre presenting to you who likes to watch this. You know, I'm an actor. I'm a comedian. I'm an entertainer. I'm a performer. I'm a personality. I will even say, even though I'm not real big on the word, I'll even say influencer. But that's what I am. And YouTube is one of the places where I do it. YouTuber? Like I am a creator and I am a personality, and my job is not to make YouTube happy. It's not to make sponsors happy, but it's to make me happy and to make you entertained. And if all those other elements help to make that happen, so be it. If other elements come into play, like I've been playing around with Instagram and Facebook and Twitter more, if whatever comes into play to make me do what I want to do, which is to be happy, entertain you, and be able to make a business off of that entertainment, thumbs up. Wherever that happens, whenever that happens, however that happens. And then anytime the elements outside of that have nothing to do with me, but just happen to be in the same platform, oh shit. Sorry, my camera cut off. I was talking so much that my camera was like, movie has stopped recording automatically. But anyway, if other things happen in those realms that I work in that have nothing to do with me, then I don't have to deal with it. I'm all about thinking forward and thinking positive at this point. That's all I'm saying. Does this mean that you'll never get me doing an angry rant again? Oh no. Actually, you might see more of the coming. But even when I do that, I will have fun with it. It will never come from a place of like actual deep-seated anger, but just still enjoying and entertaining for myself and hopefully for you. That's it, because that's what I want to be. I don't, like I said, I want to do what I can do best. I gotta work with what I got. I can't have the multi-team people that can bring you the news every minute. I can't have the super duper experts that know every single comic book or movie or TV fact that's just in their brain and they can spit it out at every moment. I can't unbox every single thing that comes out in the world, every toy, every tech item, everything. I can only do what I like, and I can only do what I have accessibility to, and that's what I'll provide. So if I want to talk about something and it's already been talked about, then so be it. If I want to talk about it, I'm going to do it. If I want to unbox something, whether it just came out today or it came out 6 months ago, I'm going to do it. That's just how I got it. That's how I got to tell myself, because at the end of the day, this is supposed to just be fun for me and entertaining for me, as well as be my business. And hopefully all I ask is that you just come along for the ride, and if you want to come along for the ride, which many of you have, and I appreciate it. But I want to just see where I go from here, because I just think it's always best to try to think about, hey, I'm happy with what I've done. What else can I do next? Because I never want to feel complacent. The worst thing you can do on YouTube is be complacent, because that's when you just start coasting and start being lazy, and then it just doesn't feel right and it doesn't feel authentic, and then psh. So yeah, I want to be me. I want to be more me on my own channel. How crazy is that? Thank you for listening to this rant. I know this was long as hell, but I thank you so much for listening to this, because this really helped out a lot, and I really appreciate it. And like I said, it's just been a fun ride, and I just want to keep the ride going, and I've really enjoyed it. And I just look forward to what's going to happen next, man. I just look forward to the future for myself, for YouTube, for entertainment, for everything, for you guys, for geek culture, for the world. But that's what makes it tough sometimes. There's just some things, just real talk. There's just some things that are happening in the world, man. It's just sad. It's sad. It makes me sad. It makes me angry. And I don't talk about a lot of it personally out there in the public, because sometimes I just don't feel like it's necessary. Again, yelling to people who are not going to listen. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that hurts. And sometimes it's tough for me to even be like, how can I be silly and funny and entertaining and crazy when there's so much stuff out there that makes me sad and angry? But sometimes I realize that's what I have to do. That is my job. Sometimes the job for myself and the job for you guys is to provide some form of entertainment and some form of escapism. Doesn't mean that you don't care. Doesn't mean that you don't know about what's going on. But sometimes you just need that release, that escape from life, to have a good time and remember to pull out those member berries and just be like, hey man, let's just have fun. The crap's happening. We know the crap's happening. Let's do something about the crap. But you know what? I just need a breather. And if I can be that breather for you, then so be it. I'm glad to be that breather. All right, I'm done. I'm done talking. Thank you so much for listening to this. If you watched this all the way through, bless your heart, and I love you to death. You are awesome. Let me know in the comments if you made it to the end. Write hashtag Andre. No, don't say the end, because people will be like, what happened to Andre? So honestly, I would just love to know what brought you here. Why did you subscribe? Why do you watch my videos? What do you like about what I do? I just would appreciate any feedback that you have, and just, again, just to throw some positivity out there. And even if there's things that you would like to see more of, feel free to suggest it. Again, at the end of the day, I'm going to choose what I want to do, but feel free to throw your suggestions out there too. And again, I thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. This has just been a very interesting ride, both the ups and the downs. I've had positive and negative this, but overall, this has just been a fun ride, and I thank you for being a part of it. All right, well, I gotta go like right now. I'm actually on my way out. So I love you like a play cousin. If you are new here, I don't usually make videos like this, but I appreciate you watching this. If this is your first video, please subscribe. I love you like a play cousin. I'm Audi 5000, chain chomp yomp. I promise that's not going anywhere. I will say that to the end of time.